everyone. Welcome to the Soul on Fire show. I am Noelle Agape, and I'm so blessed to have you here. Thank you so much for being here on the live. Thank you for being on the replay. We have such a special, beautiful Christmas episode for you today. We have Dr. Yasmine Saad, and she is so magical and so literally will create miracles in your life. We're going to talk about decoding your subconscious mind. We're going to talk about decoding your negative patterns. We're going to talk about your energy fields. And I have to tell you that, guys, I want you to sit down and truly, truly, truly embrace this, because this is one of the most special people that I have met. I just met her about a month ago, and I had to have her on my show because she is so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being here on the live. Thanks for being on the replay. Today is Wednesday, so on Wednesday we teach. I want to actually read her bio to you guys right now because her experience is so beautiful and so powerful. So I'm going to take a minute and actually read her full bio because it's truly, truly just magical. Dr. Yasmine Saad is an international best-selling author, top-rated New York licensed clinical psychologist with a national and international reputation, blending Eastern and Western healing modalities. She helps you decode your thoughts and your emotions so you can move forward with purpose and empowerment. She's helped thousands of people transform their lives and in one encounter. She is the founder of Madison Park Services as a premier therapist and an assignment and group in New York City. She's awarded best businesses in categories of 3 rated in 2021 and 2020. Her practice serves patients from all identities and cultures and embodies Dr. Saad's unique approach to the identity, body, mind, spirit. They have helped thousands of adults, couples, and children achieve wellness in a short amount of time. Guys, I am so excited for you today because she is such a beautiful soul and such a beautiful human. And normally I do a segment first, but I want to have so much time with her. I'm going to bring her on right now because I want to have so much time with her because she's going to change your life. Sit down, listen, and absorb. Understand how to decode your mind, your body, your soul, and your energy fields. We're going to go deep today. Hi, Dr. Saad. How are you?
Thank you so much, Noelle. That was such an honoring introduction. Thank you so much.
Well, you are such a beautiful soul. Thank you for being here. So tell us a little bit about you, because you have such a vast experience. I know you're a world renowned all over the place, internationally and nationally, and you truly, truly, truly just make an impact. And you and I were talking the other day on the phone, and you said that you truly decode people in one session with them, right? So I want to hear your magic. I want to hear your secret, but first we want to know a little bit about you.
Yes. So, my why is to make sense of things. That's really what I love to do and what I like to do. And from an early age, I learned to observe and understand about what's happening within me and around me. I've been through a lot in my life, so I was able to really understand the depths of people's emotions and understand what happened when they get stuck in your body, what happens to your mind, what happens in that connection, and what you need to do to transform it. And being stuck in negative thoughts or in bodily pain, it's really one of the things that we really need to help people transform. It's super important. So I made it a mission. And so here I am.
I love that so much. And I just want to say, for those of you that are watching, her last name in English is Saad, but actually in Arabic, it means joy, right? So that's so wonderful because my name is Christmas, right? Noelle is Christmas, and that's joy, and Agape is unconditional love. So we are going to spread unconditional love to everybody that is watching today. So tell us a little bit about how you got started, the journey of being an entrepreneur, the journey of being a psychologist. You and I are in the same field. Both of us are licensed counselors, and we work, deep into the emotional body, the mind-body connection, but we do it in a very different way than most therapists, right? We do it in a way that we work with energy and we work with the people and their souls. So let's talk about that, because your soul's journey is never an easy journey, right?
That's right. But I believe it's handed into you. Like, for example, for me, I started as a psychologist, but I never thought that I will be an energy practitioner. I will integrate. And the reality, it's a miscarriage led me here. And I always say that what you think is negative is actually love behind it. pointing the path to you. And so a lot of people are hurting because of miscarriage, and I've been there. But I'm here to say, thanks to my miscarriage, I was able to create a movement of healers who are now integrating psychology and Eastern medicine. And I'm so grateful for the pain and the miscarriage, because it had led me to find Eastern medicine. It had led me to study it and embrace it. And thanks to this, now I'm healing a lot of people from a body, mind, spirit perspective, and I'm training the next generation of psychologists to do that. So I'm changing the way the field works because of one miscarriage.
Wow, that's so beautiful, and I honor you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for that, because that's such a journey, and through death you found life, right? And truly, mine was a different story of death, but through death I found life as well. And you and I met, and it was instant connection, and I believe it was energy, right? I believe that like you said, your soul knows already, and it is coming from love. It's for experiencing and expanding beyond where you were. And so anything that we go through our pain is always our purpose. And so I believe that with my soul. And Dr. Saad, so tell us about the journey of the sadness, right? I mean, so tell us about getting through the sadness, and energetically and physically, to actually get through the depression, get through the anxiety, get through the anger of when something traumatic happens to you. What happens actually in your body?
Yes. So the first step is to understand that sadness is really a translation from your mind. It's your mind that is translating into a bad or a sad. And usually it's all about unmet desires. It's all about, you had a plan, you had a vision for yourself, and life gave you something different. And that difference, instead of just labeling it different, the mind translated into a missing. The mind translated a problem, and that leads to negative emotion. And so our job is a bit to decode that backwards, and to understand that any sadness is just that we had a taste for something better, for more beautiful. And it's just that it didn't get met. So then there's sadness for the lack of beauty, and our mind connected to the lack of beauty. But in reality, there was beauty behind that. You had a taste of beauty, and you still have this taste of beauty. Can you connect to that taste of beauty? And so that's a bit the decoding that we want to do. But the first step is just to honor the sadness, because you're sad. You have to accept it.
I love that so much. I love that. And so when you honor the sadness, right, you're actually, and I say this all the time to my viewers, is that you have to have a relationship with fear. You have to have a relationship with anger. And so emotions are truly there to teach us, and they are there to show us to expand our soul and our soul's journey. So let's talk about the mind-body connection, and how energetically it is so important to be in alignment with, because, the manifesting now is such a big, cliche term, yet it truly is when you connect through the pain, and you going through the pain, and you work through the pain to actually manifest something differently. Let's talk about that process, and how energetically it is a very, very different thing than what your ego is telling you, right?
That's right. So I start with the mind, because I believe the mind filters everything. So you mentioned, let's take anger. Let's take that one. Like, usually people are angry or frustrating because the reality they have is not in line with their moral value, or with what they're thinking, their desire moral value. So for example, if you treat me not fairly, I'm going to be angry with you. And so anger is just a sign translated by the mind that, like, pulling your attention, hey, you wanted to be treated better. You have a taste for something better. So can you connect with that taste? Can you connect with the essence of who you are? And the essence of who you are is, I desire a fair world, for example. In that example, is the fair world. And so I'm somebody who wants maybe justice, maybe fairness. And then how can you go about it empowered? How can you see your anger is pointing out that this is not a match. This is not a line. Your anger is showing you, hey, pay attention. There's a signal here for you. You're going kind of the wrong direction. What can you do internally about it? And sometimes, go ahead.
No, keep going. That's amazing.
And so sometimes it's about, realigning. And realigning, you have several ways of doing, either changing the mind, which is life is forcing you to expand the concept of fairness or go outside of the concept of fairness. And other times it's about, no, actually aligning you with that concept of fairness. And if you look inside, you will know which one it is. But it's a negative emotion, negative thoughts are a way towards alignment. And if you can see that, it's just, that's the beauty of it. You know the path. They're meant to show you the path. They're wayfinders. They show you the way.
That is so beautiful and so articulate. Like, I love the way you articulated that and said that, your emotions truly do show you the way. And I say that all the time, if it feels good, follow that, right? And not if it feels good from my ego, and go even deeper, and say, why, not why is this happening to me, but why am I learning? What do I need to learn? Why do I feel good? Why do I feel sad? Right. And start to explore beyond that. Right. And when you explore beyond the emotion, that's when you move through you, right? So let's talk about the next level of energy, because we spent 5 minutes on the phone together, and you read my soul, like you really did, and you knew. I was like, wait, what? That's crazy, And so I do this for 20 years, and you had like instantly. So let's talk about decoding and how you decode the energy and how you see the energy and you read it within your clients.
Yes. So I start with this process of, what they bring to me. What is the question? What is the answer? So let's say, there's a particular example. A lot of people come to me, which I don't want to be at a low energy frequency. That's a very common one. I want to be with people who have high frequency, let's say, so that is a common one. And so what does it say about you? What it says about you is that you desire beauty, you desire harmony, you desire love.
I love that so much.
And so that's what it says. But so the road for you is up and up and up. Now, the danger when you desire love and beauty, it's already your mind has said what is beauty, what is not beauty. And therefore, it has already limited the journey because you can only see beauty in beauty.
Wow. That's magical. What you just said. Can you repeat that again? Because that is magical, what you just said.
So the idea is you desire beauty. And in desiring beauty, you already set the path that only beauty is beauty. And so the other is not beauty, and it's already limiting because the reality is the negative is beauty too. It's disguised, but it's beauty too. And so it's very important to know, like when you're around people who are, let's say, low energy, the question usually you have to be open and curious. What is it in for me? What am I supposed to learn from this? And usually it's, you have to build something within so that you can be in that presence of low energy and keep your high energy. And then you can decide to be around it or not around it. Like the freedom is the gift. But if you're like, nope, low energy, I'm not coming in. Nope, it's not coming there. Then you already limit yourself. You can only be in beautiful places. And it's a much harder road. The path is to be able to be around low energy, low frequency, and not be as affected. And so that life is pushing you towards that, but you keep saying, nope. But the idea is to build that inner ability. And once you build it, then of course nobody wants to be around it, but then you'll even see the beauty and you'll be able to be loving towards somebody who's not at the level that you're at. And you'll create a loving field.
That is the most spiritual, mature answer I've ever in my entire career of 20 years had. Thank you for that. Seriously, your spiritual maturity is off the charts. And so let's talk about spiritual maturity, because that is the next level, right? So it's the mind-body connection, and then it's the energetic connection. Then let's talk about the spiritual maturity, because I believe that emotional intelligence is another key word that goes all over the place, especially in our field. But I believe taking it to the next level beyond the emotional intelligence and understanding spiritual maturity. And that answer that you just had is it blows me away, because just your presence is so spiritual mature, and you're such an old soul, and thank you for that. But let's talk about the next level of maturity and moving beyond just the emotional intelligence of understanding the emotions, but now connecting it to your spirit and your soul and your purpose and the reason why it's happening in your life.
So you want to start first with a place that everything that's happening within you and outside of you has a good message for you. That has to be a premise. And you arrive to that premise from the simple fact that we're energy being. And energy always goes up. Energy is always for healing. Energy is always for better. Energy is never for negative. So even a negative event is here to trigger a positive. But your mind will not see it, or will say no to it. So the idea is really to start with the question, what is in it for me? And you can extend that. So when you have negative thoughts, let's say, because it's inside and outside, when you have negative thoughts, you want to ask yourself, oh, interesting, I'm having that negative thoughts here. I wonder, what is in it for me? What is it trying to tell me? Like asking yourself question instead of, oh, I have fear right now, let me push it away. No. Let me transform it into positive thought. Let me change that. No, be curious. Keep the space for it. Don't judge it. Give it love and see the message. Same thing with negative events in your life is the same. Somebody come. Ooh, hi, Greg. So nice to see you. So then the idea is, if you have a negative event in your life, it's here for you because it has a message for you. I usually use life example, or it's very easy when I'm sitting with someone. So I'll use my own personal life experience to give an idea about this. So, one of the idea that I see a lot is people build themselves against somebody. Somebody comes and tell you, no, you cannot do it. And people go, no, I'm going to show you I can. And I say, you can do it that way, but it's not the best. The best is, okay, that person coming in your life, telling you you cannot do it. What is the message? What has life message for you? And so one of the things to think about, okay, life is confronting me with someone who wants to limit me. What is that? So what life is telling you, how you're going to keep your light when somebody is trying to put your light down. And most people go on rebelling or fighting. They go, I'm going to show you. And they have a fighting attitude and they build themselves fighting with the world. That it's just limited. It's an option, but it doesn't go as far. Instead of that, would be like, can you be grateful that this person is trying to show you how do you keep your flame burning when the wind is blowing? And can you be grateful for that opportunity? Can you give love to that person because they're really pushing you to build something within that keep you strong and aligned and into your energy being and alive. And so the harder it gets in some way, the more the blessing, because it's a harder challenge, but it's a harder gift at the end of the journey.
Wow. You are an earth angel. You really are an earth angel. I swear. I love you so much. And I'm blown away. I just want, like, being in your presence just makes me, I'm smiling from my soul. Seriously. Oh my gosh. So many nuggets. It's in that segment right there alone. It was so beautiful. So let's talk about you and truly what, like, how you transform lives, because I mean, honestly, you are an angel and I love you so much. So the process that you use with some of your clients, I know that we talked a little bit about that, but let's go even deeper. Like, let's talk about the transformation of lives that you've actually done in some of your clients.
Yes. So as you see very quickly, if you can see the thoughts they're having, the event they're living in their life. What is reality on the outside? Once you know the reality on the inside, you know the reality on the inside. Outside, inside have a relationship. So it's pretty easy. If you just ask yourself, what is life giving them? That's the path. And just that simple question. And so for most people is you come to me and you ask me a question like, and it can be any question. It can be like, I'm wondering which decision to take and make. Or it can be like, I'm really scared. Like I have a lot of people coming to me, for example, imposter syndrome. And they're like, it's limiting me. I have fear. I have to push through it. And I said, okay, well, what is life giving you? Life is giving you fear. So what is fear? Fear is a fear that you cannot do, that you won't be. So there must be something within you that's tuning in to not being able to achieve, to not being able to get there. And so maybe there's a gift in there. Maybe something within is telling you, you have to tweak something within so that you can build that confidence within and the fear will disappear. And I tell people actually fear is a gift. Most people say fear is the enemy. I think fear is a gift because it's telling you something within that you have to pay attention. And so most people, I have public speaker coming to me and telling me, I have so much fear and it's limiting my ability. I said, no, it's telling you to build something within. And once that is built, you will step forward in such an empowered way and in a path that you need for yourself. You think that going out there right now in this particular one is what you need to do, but life is telling you otherwise. Life is telling you, build something within. And once you have that, wow, life will be magic.
That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Saad. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to talk about your internal GPS and your guidance system, because that I know is your pocket. So today's show is sponsored by my company, the Soul on Fire, and it's sponsored by the Soul on Fire retreats. And I promise you guys that you want to stay tuned, because we're going to talk about your internal guidance system. We're going to talk about going deep into your energetic body, and we are going to have more fun with Dr. Saad. Stay tuned, guys. We will be right back. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being on the Soul on Fire show today. We are teaching, and we are here with Dr. Yasmine Saad, and she is amazing and beautiful. And if you haven't seen the first half of this show, rewind it and watch it again, because there are so many nuggets. We talked about your mental body and your emotional body and then your physical body. And now we're going to talk about your energetic body and your connection to spirit and your internal guidance system. Dr. Saad, thank you for being here. You are such a gift to this world, and I am so grateful to even be in your presence today. So, and just literally, I feel like you are an earth angel. So thank you for giving your time. Let's talk about your internal guidance system, and let's talk about how important it is to understand when you feel that, you know, when you walk into a room and it's like, oh, I get a very bad feeling, or no, don't do that, or no, go here. And then you meet one person. Like, I booked my tickets to New York, where we met, and a lot of other people met, at 1:30 in the morning. And I said, no, I wasn't going to go. And I stopped, but I felt it in my soul that I needed to be there. And the connections that I have are lifetime connections, right? So let's talk about your internal GPS, and when you're listening to it and when you're not listening to it, and how your life looks with the difference between the two.
Oh, I love that question. Thank you so much, Noelle. So the first step is you want to know how attuned are you to your internal GPS. So in my line of work, I often see people who don't trust emotions, don't trust that desire and emotion are good for you. So they outrule them constantly. And if you're someone who outrules your emotions and your desire, then you'll have a hard time connecting to your GPS, because your mind has already said only what's logical rules. And so we have to tweak that to get in line with your GPS. But there's a lot of other people out there that are very intuitive, that feel everything and still have that opening, because it's an opening that you have as a child and that closes for some, but everybody has it at birth. And so the idea is, what do you need to unpeel the layers to get back to that opening? And so in terms of knowing your internal GPS, if you are already in the realm of being intuitive and things like that, so you want to close your eyes and go deep within, and you always have the answer, Now you want to test yourself, because are you always listening is the key. Or because sometimes, having an internal GPS requires a certain level of faith and trust, because it might tell you things that are totally opposite to what you desire. You desire to have a relationship with this friend, but when you close your eyes, the GPS is telling you no. Some people will still go with the desire, or still go with what the mind says, because the mind filters. And so it's very important that you learn to listen and you try it out. And sometimes you will learn by not listening, and you'll realize, and most people, that's how they learn. They learn by that they didn't listen, and then like, I should have listened. And next time they do listen. And so it's about refining that GPS and building that faith and trust that there's something bigger than your logical mind, and accepting that you might not make sense of it right now. It might not make sense. And so it involves a level of being in the world, living in the unknown. You have to be comfortable to live in the unknown to be able to tune into your GPS. And that's very important.
That I love that so much, and the trust factor with your internal GPS, because your mind really will mess with you, right? And your patterns and the decode, everything that you decode in your mind and your body will truly get triggered if you're not in the right space and you're not. So what do you do? I meditate in the morning for an hour, and then I talk all day every day to my relationship with source is my key. What do you do? Like, what are some key things that you can teach our viewers to do to have like your internal guidance system dialed in? You and I live by our guidance system, right? We truly do. And we, our practices through our that, not just our internal practices, but our physical and business practices as well. So what about people that are not in our field, that don't know energy? Like, how do they know how their internal GPS is truly on point, or if it's not on point?
Well, initially they won't know, and it's going to be a trial and error. Like, it's really going to be that there's, but it's about, you first have to have a desire to discover this and desire to embark on this path. And once you do, you're going to, like, if you learn how to decode your thoughts and your emotion the way I show you and the way I point to you, then it's very easy. Then I'll give you an example. For example, I have a team of psychologists working for me, and I was one day meditating, and anger towards one of the therapists was coming. It was coming so strong, and I love that therapist, and I couldn't understand why anger towards the therapist. It didn't make sense, but it was coming so strong, and so it came to me. Oh, I think she's angry with me, because it didn't make sense. I had the thought, I had the emotion. It did not make sense. And so I did approach her, and lo and behold, she was. And so, and by understanding the signal that I get, decoding them, helped me get closer to my GPS. And life shows you those things. So I'll give you a different example. One day I was meditating, and I thought about a good friend of mine. And so when I was done with meditating, I texted her. And I told her, I thought of you. And she said, oh, really? What time? I'm like, why is she asking what time? But I'm going to tell her. I said 3 p.m. She said, no way. I said, what? The door says is the time of my birthday. Today is my birthday. And so I was tuned, like, something. And then it made me think, oh my God, my thoughts are bigger than, like, it's bigger. What comes to my mind is bigger. And that's how I started in this journey of decoding the mind, decoding by understanding. So it's experience like that that makes you believe. And once you believe, then you can tune in. So you need to have those experiences. And it starts with curiosity. It starts with understanding. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what is what? And initially, you might need the help of someone, and usually meditation. I practice Qigong, which is an energy practice based on traditional Chinese medicine. So any energy practice can help you see clearer, because most of us, our mind make the water agitated and you cannot see through. So you need a practice that make the water clear so that you see through. And when that happens, you start connecting to your thoughts, your body, what is it? And when you're very intuitive, your body talks to you, right? I had so many times I was totally fine and I meet someone and I have a terrible headache and I leave and I no longer have a headache. Like, you pick up things, your body gives you signals too, and learning to know them, learning to understand, like, oh, it's totally fine. Why I'm feeling nauseous suddenly? Like, your body gives you signals, and knowing how to decode them leads you to listening to your internal GPS.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And so that I want to talk about quantum entanglement, right? So let's talk about that. You know, you and I are empaths and we do this for a living and we work with energy and we work with people's energetic bodies, right? So let's talk about knowing the difference between understanding. I call it the crazy train, right? When you start on your spiritual journey, it really becomes a crazy train because you don't know what's yours and what's not. But let's talk about quantum entanglement and how everything is connected, and understanding the quantum fields and understanding the quantum realms of understanding that we truly do pick up on energies because we are energy, right?
That's right. Absolutely. So how do you get to understanding that? How do you get that you pick up? The idea is by observing yourself, observing what happens to your mind and your body and making connection. Like, oh, when I'm doing this, I have a headache. When I'm not doing this, I don't. And then you start understanding that it's not yours, but it's part of what you're receiving and what you're decoding. And so the first part is understanding that there's connection. The other part, I think a lot of people want to separate, but it's inseparable, because the reality, I'm getting a headache because that headache was able to enter in that area. That means that area, that's how I receive the message. So it's both my headache and the other person's headache. Like, there's something that happened there that is in sync that I got the headache. So it's easier to not think like what's mine, what's theirs, because it's hard. It's much harder that way. The easier way is to say, okay, I have a headache. That's how it got shown up for me. What do I do with it? What do I want to do about it? How do I want to transform it? What do you want to do? Like, and can you see it that potentially this person is helping you maybe heal headaches and you heal that area within you? It's not all for them. It's not that they have energy stuck or stagnation or they're bad or something like that, or they're a headache for you. It's more that, ooh, life is showing me something about me. Can you be like, ooh, curious? I'm wondering, what is life showing me about me?
That is so, I love that, because I approach life through curiosity, and I have a relationship with everything. And I ask, is this mine? And if it's not mine, I don't try to push it away. I say, is it, well, what is it teaching me? Oh, am I healing it for this and for humanity? Like, you know, we are all connected in every way. And we're not just healing ourselves when we heal actually everyone in our auric fields, right? And so if it's in your fields, it's teaching you something, right? This entanglement that we're having right now is teaching something, right? It's bringing that energy out to the world. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the highest level is service, right? And so when you are in your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, and you are dialed in and you've gone through your pain, and now it's time to move into your purpose, right? Not everybody is going to be on TV like you and I, but there is always a reason and a purpose behind what they go through. And so let's talk about moving into service, because when you're in service based, that is the highest vibration on the planet, right?
That's right. So the danger, I would say, about the word service, it's outwards, is I'm here to give. And that is not how we are in the world. We are being, like, it has to be a here. So the key, the way you step into service, is you elevate your being. So the idea, that's why the question, is it mine? Is it theirs? I don't love so much, because it's always yours. And that question puts it this. And so the idea is, you want to focus on being in the world and refining your being. And as you refine your being, then you attract, and then people come to you and they're for you to heal, but you're not doing it because you have to be of service. It's not a doing or giving. It's just you are. And in that are, miracles happen. And so that's really the key.
You are magnificent. I absolutely love you from my soul. You are an earth angel. We have so much more to cover, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to take another quick commercial and come back with Dr. Saad, and she's going to just talk about everything about embodying everything that we just spoke about in the last hour. I'm smiling from my soul because you are a wealth of information. I am the student today. I am not the teacher, and I am learning from one of the masters here on earth. Thank you for being here. We will be right back, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Thank you for being on the Soul on Fire show. I am Noelle Agape, and today we're here with Dr. Yasmine Saad, and she is such a master in her craft. Thank you for being here, Dr. Saad. We are learning about the mind-body connection at such a deep quantum level, and it is so incredible. There are so many nuggets throughout this show. Let's talk now about what you truly do what are you working on? What do you do? What you're bringing to the world? I know that you're working on a book behind the scenes. And I know that's going to be launched. Let's talk about what you are bringing out to the world and how you're bringing your gifts to the world, because you are such an earth angel. And I've said that 100 times during the show, but it's true.
You're beautiful. So, I basically help people uncover, connect, and untangle what's happening in their body, mind, and life. So I call it my UCU process. And in that process, you really end up UCU. So and in the UCU, what you see is love, is the energy being and the love behind. So I really help people connect to love, that everything is love. And that's the message. And so I use my background in psychology and my Eastern medicine, traditional Chinese medicine background, to show people that how to transform the negative, to be able to see love in it, because then we create a world of love. So that's my mission and purpose, to really create a place where people walk in love, whether it be with negative or positive. And so that's the mission. So concretely, what I think everybody needs is a guide on how to decode your thoughts and emotions. So right now I'm writing a book taking your most common emotions and negative thoughts and transforming them. So how, for example, have one elevate your stress to success. People like, elevate your stress? I don't want stress. What are you talking about? Elevate stress. And I'm talking about elevating the frequency of stress. That stress is here to help you, and I'll show you how. Then how to transform anxiety into excitement, imposter syndrome into boosting self-esteem, depression into satisfaction. There's so many of those, fear into guts. Like there's so much there to be had. And I take each one and I show people what the world think of it, what most people do with it, and a new way of looking at it based on this approach that it's all signals. It's just translated by your mind and your body, and knowing how your mind translates and how your body translates help you get to the essence and the message so that you move forward empowered and purposeful. So that's my next project, and I will have workshop about it and everything, but I'll start with the book.
Well, thank you for bringing your gifts to the world, because the world needs you more than ever. And so I'm so grateful for you. So let's talk about, you said a couple things, imposter syndrome and signals, right? So first of all, let's teach our audience what imposter syndrome is. Many of them know, but maybe they don't. So what would you say that would be?
Yes. So imposter syndrome is when you think you're an imposter. So a lot of people who are basically doing super well, super competent, actually feel that they're going to be discovered for being a fraud, that people think highly of them, but actually they're no good. And so they keep those thoughts within that, oh my God, if anybody knew, it's just a question of time that I'm going to lose my job, that my boss is going to know something. I'm not as good as they think I am. So that's the key. And so I say, for you to have those thoughts, you have to connect to something within. And I usually use that example that I have. Like, if I feel I'm pretty and you tell me I'm ugly, maybe like, wow, she must be having a bad day. I don't know, it sounds like, but it's not going to at all enter my mind or affect me. But if I have a bit of a doubt, I'm going to be, maybe she's right. Maybe my nose, my mouth, I think she's right. And if I really believe I'm ugly, I'm either going to say, how dare you? And I'm going to be so upset with you, or upset with myself. I'm going to go, oh my gosh, she's so right. I'm so ugly. And so the thoughts you have, you can only have them if there's an opening for them. So let's talk about imposter syndrome. The idea that you're not good enough can only happen because you're tuned into that. And it can only happen if there's also a kernel of truth. And so the kernel of truth is not that you're not good enough. The kernel of truth is that you believe there's a higher level of good enough, and the level you're at is not good enough. So people think you're good enough, but for you, it's not good enough. So there's a misalignment that your level of good enough is not where you're at. And so imposter syndrome is just here to show you that there's more for you. This is not enough for you. You have more within, and I'm going to have you think it's not good enough so that you push up. Because when you're not good enough, the idea is to, become good enough, right? Go higher in your level. So that's the idea, and that's the way, that's the purpose. So you see how imposter syndrome is actually here to elevate you. It's actually here to tell you, go deep within. What is good enough for you? You are capable of it because you have this idea. And so let's get you there.
Wow, that's such a beautiful way. I mean, that's such a key term, imposter syndrome, around in our field right now. But that was such a beautiful way that you articulated that. Thank you for that. You're just a master in your craft. You really are. So let's have some key takeaways. Like, what would you tell someone on a daily basis what to do? We teach meditation, we teach working with the energetic body, but just key takeaways for our viewers that can actually do tangible things that make tangible results.
Yes. I believe the major obstacle is the mind. So it has to start with the mind, because the mind filters everything. So the questions you want to ask yourself is, what am I here to learn from this? And the other one is, what is life putting in front of me? And what do I have to do to keep my light shining in front of that? And you will know the path and the journey. So that's the two main questions you want to ask yourself to start this journey. And you can do the same thing with your body, life events, thoughts, but it's the same principle.
So you ask your body and your mind, and I walk through this, a very similar process. You ask your mind, you ask your body, you ask your energetic fields of what is going on, and to lesson, right? And so I speak about this all the time, and this is really important, is the communication that you have with the universe can't come from the universe doesn't hear, your soul doesn't hear things that are bad, like, oh, please bring me, a money, please bring me whatever needs to come into your life, right? That's a very desperate prayer. But when you speak to the universe and you say, show me what this is showing me in my life, how can I expand from this, right? And there's a communication that is very key with the universe. Let's talk about that, because it's so important to understand that when you're coming from a very needy or desperate space, that your soul doesn't know the difference. You're here to experience and expand, and it's going to push you to expansion one way or the other, and your experience will not be very good if you don't expand. So let's talk about the communication between your mind, your body, your soul, and your energy fields.
I love your questions. It's so awesome. You are the best. Thank you.
So are you. I'm reflecting you. Thank you.
So I'll go a tiny bit back. you said like you asked the universe. I think it's complicating asking the universe. Usually what I do, and when with the question I had said before, you don't ask your body, you don't ask your thoughts, you don't ask the universe. You try to ask, what is this pain for me? What is it trying to tell me? And how can I keep my light with this pain? So for that, you have to transform the pain. So it starts, the idea is the universe is talking to you through you. So most people ask the universe out, ask universe, hey, give me signs, bring it here. And so the idea is it's already, it's within you. So it's the idea, the answer already within. So you don't have to go, you just have to go in, and you have to observe the thoughts I'm having. What's the message? The universe has message in your body and in your mind already there. And those are the paths. So you don't have to ask for things, they happen. And I'll give you a simple example. I never thought about being on TV ever. You know, I'm a good psychologist, trained psychologist. Well, one day during COVID, I had a broadcaster come to me and wanted to interview me. And it planted a seed, and I showed the interview to my family. My family was like, you're made for it. And then it clicked that, oh yeah, I have the knowledge of psychology, I have the presence. And then I'm like, oh, the universe showed me all the gift that I had and my purpose. And I was like, okay, that's the path. And it came, and I was able to decode it. And so I didn't ask universe, I want to be on TV, because maybe that's not my path. That's what my mind might want, but that's not the path. So I think the key is to observe and analyze what's within. And so the key is asking the within. And it comes with observation and asking question and decoding.
That is so beautiful and so powerful. And I teach, I mean, that's the most powerful thing that I teach is all of the powers within you. And if someone, a healer or an energetic, someone working in your energetic field says they're going to take you to your soul's purpose, run as fast as you can, right? Because what they are actually do, and I guide people to their soul, but everything is within them. And the biggest thing I think that frustrates my clients is I say, you know, I'll ask them a question and they'll say, I don't know. And I say, yes, you do. And they stop and they're like, no, I don't know. And I'm like, yes, you actually do. And so let's talk about how you guide people to their soul and how that you guide them through the journey, because you've described a lot of it, but you know, to their soul's purpose through everything is the end result. We all want to be living our soul's purpose and getting there. Right. And so that's the final step is understanding that you're making the mind body connection and you're going through all this, but you're doing it for your soul. You're doing it to live from your soul and to experience from your soul and truly bring your gifts out to the world, because they're not ours to give, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I love your question. A lot of people say, I don't know. Totally. Because I think there's obstacles that have led in the way. And so, and they have cut themselves from themselves. And so here in the I don't know, what are they telling you? They're telling you when you say I don't know, it's some way you don't know yourself. Because if you don't have the outside answer, you don't have the key to you. So the work is actually getting to know you. Who are you? So it starts with who are you? Because it's you don't know you. When you know you, you know the answer, because there's a clarity. So it's always about getting people in touch who they are, and who they are is not their accomplishment, it's not their external life, but who they are is the gift that was able to help them achieve the accomplishment. And most people know, like, being intuitive is who you are, being beautiful is who you are. And what does that mean? Because you reflect reality. If you're beautiful, you like beauty, so you have a taste for harmony, you have a taste for in sync. So getting people in touch with who they are and having them embody that, there's a clarity that happened and there's a knowing that happened, and then they can answer your question afterwards about what do you know is the key.
Wow. So powerful. So beautiful. Thank you. And so let's talk a little bit about, we have about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about identity and connecting to an identity. And when you actually, when your soul asks you to expand and you have to move through a different identity and you have to leave your old life behind, right? And that you most of the time you lose people, you lose friends, family members, or some people are coming with you for a season, reason, or a lifetime. Let's talk about identity, the importance of your ego and your identity and actually your soul and your identity.
Love it. So there's two really journey. There's a journey of the mind that the mind will read things as loss, sadness, and as emptiness. The mind will do something and you have to honor some part of it, transform other parts of it. So that is very important. Then you also want to like constantly ask yourself, okay, what is it in for me? What is life giving me? Life is kind of, peeling things off of you, like it's making room, it's making room for new. So when you are in the loss, you're in the gain. Can you see that? Can you see, and can you expand your way of thinking? Is maybe right now the way you're thinking of it is, I'm hurt, I'm in the loss, I'm in the missing, which is translated by the mind. But can you expand it in, I'm in that loss and missing because it's my preparation ground for the next. And you need to be in the loss to be in the gain. That's how it works. The same way when you're in the gain, it's just a question of time that you're going to be in the loss, because you're meant to create again another gain, and you cannot have another gain without a loss. So that's why I tell people, don't be so attached, because you'll be like, I want to be in the gain. I'm in the gain right now. I'm doing like, and so you want to honor the emotions, you want to respect them, you want to feel them, and you want to see how they're all necessary, and have a respect and expand the mind and the perspective.
So powerful. So beautiful. So there are so many key nuggets in all of this show. Thank you. So let's talk about attachment and when you are attached to the outcome and when you're attached to things, because that's one of the things that truly holds you back from moving energetically and mentally and physically forward, right?
Yes and no. So everything has a binary. So when you are attached, there's something within you that is craving something in that attachment. And it's important that you analyze, what is it? Now, you're attached because you don't believe you can have it differently. Otherwise, you won't be attached. And for most people, is that person gives you love, gives you support. There's an attachment, or gives you safety. It gives you something that you need. So if you can analyze it to realize, what is it? And that is what you need to create within yourself. That's the inner work. And so when you are attached, it's just a signal that you need this and you have to work on it. And the idea is to be okay with attachment and no attachment. You want to be free at the end of the day. And the way you are free is by understanding, I'm attached. There's something in this that keeps me in it. I need this for my purpose. What is it? And so it's not, I'm attached, this is bad, let me move away and let me figure out a way. No, I'm attached. I'm gaining something that I don't have internally. Let me create it internally so that I can be free and I can decide whether to be attached or detached.
Wow. So beautiful. You're blowing me away. Thank you so much. 20 years of experience and you're still blowing me away. I love being the student and teacher in the same breath. So key takeaways, because we have just a couple minutes left. Give key takeaways that people can focus on, and where can they find you? How can they work with you? Because everybody, that is listening, if you are not going to work with her, please get on the phone and start working with her, because she will change your life. So the first key takeaways, and then how can everybody find you, and how can they work with you, and how can I work with you? Because you're amazing.
You are so lovely, and I'm so grateful for you. You have a mission. This is your creation, and this is your platform. So you bring this to the world. So thank you to you, Noelle, because this is you. I'm here just being me, and you're here being you, and that's create a beautiful field. So thank you so much. So the key takeaway is that everything has a good and a bad in it. And the moment you went a direction, you lost an opportunity. And you want to bring yourself back to the other direction, because the key is to keep both together because you want to have both together. And that's the key. And the way you do that is by asking yourself the question. Most people, the way they get off balance is by pointing to bad, noticing bad, labeling something bad, and wanting to remove themselves. And so usually the key is, what is it in it for me? What is life presenting to me? And what do I need to build internally? Because that's usually that. Now, but there's some people who are always like the glass half full and rosy, and I do the other opposite work. Like, what is it about the negative that you need to see, that you need to look, that you need to tune into? But in general, it's this idea of balance. And so this is my key. Notice which way you're going and how to rebalance yourself.
Wow. Wow. I just love you so, so much. And where can everyone find you? Because you are a golden nugget in this world, and you are a spiritual angel. And thank you again for living your purpose and bringing your gifts to this world. You are here to change humanity. I promise you that.
Thank you so much, Noelle. So people can find me either on my website, DrYasmineSaad.com, where I have coaching one-on-one. And then I have a group practice with people who I've trained who operate in similar way as me. And so you have the opportunity to working with people who also are part of my practice. And that's MadisonParkPsych.com.
And I'll link that below as well.
Fantastic. And the easiest, you can always Google me. It's easy to find me.
And are you on Instagram? Are you on social media? Where can they find you on social media and Instagram?
Yes. So on Instagram, same, Dr. Yasmine Saad, easy. Facebook, I think it's Yasmine Saad, same. So I'm a bit everywhere. It's my name. You find my name, I'm there.
You're so amazing. I have been smiling with joy for the past hour. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your gifts to the world. I am so excited to see what you and I create together. We have magic we are creating together. I know that God has brought us together to change massive lives. And I know that was destiny in New York, for sure, for sure. We have so much to do together. Thank you for bringing your gifts to the world. One last takeaway that you want to give to anyone?
I love you. I want people to honor you for your mission and what you're bringing, because I'm here because of you. So thank you. And I think you are very special. And the idea of enlightening people and keeping the flame going, I think that's what we both are trying to do. So I'm so grateful for you. And if you're listening in the audience, I think you'll find a gem.
Well, I think we should create something together, and that way we'll change the lives of masses, right? I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for being here. You are always welcome back on my show. Anytime you want to come back, you are always welcome. You are beautiful, and I was a student today. I honor you so, so much. Thank you, Dr. Yasmine.
Love you.
Oh my gosh, guys, what a powerful show. That was amazing. I was truly in awe, and I have been doing this for 20 years, and she blew me away. She knows the quantum field. She knows the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. If you have not connected with her yet, please go to DrYasmineSaad.com and connect with her. She is amazing. Find her on social media, and she will change your life. You are more powerful than you ever know. Everything is inside of you. Everything is inside of you. Your gifts are not your own. And when you are not using your gifts, you are truly, truly doing a disservice to you, your family, and humanity. You are more powerful than you will ever know. The energy that creates worlds is inside of you. And I promise you guys, through your pain is always your purpose. When you step into your power, when you step into that joy, and when you step into love and wisdom, your life will change forever. I know that it is not an easy journey, but if you take one step today to change your life, and you say yes to you, and you say yes to your purpose, and you say yes to your gifts, humanity needs you more than ever. I love you from my soul, and I am so grateful for you. And I know that you can change the world by just being you. You are more powerful than you'll ever know. I'll see you in the next video.